Here are 63 Bloons Facts. You can deal more damage from rounds 137 to 140 than you can from 1 to 100. Ninja Kiwi has heard the cry for the Master Builder to keep its ability to support other towers, especially since it's the first support category Paragon. They're discussing this internally, but there's at least a chance that the Master Builder will gain the ability to buff other towers. The Alchemist is the only attacking tower that can't hit camos. Every other tower has at least one upgrade that allows it to pop them. The Engineer was the monkey that dragged the broken Bloonchipper to the scrapyard, never to be used again. Ninja Kiwi is working on supporting mods while keeping the integrity of BTD6 intact. Now this is a tricky thing to accomplish, but it's exciting to see them working on a whole new side of the game. Speaking of exciting new things, BTD6 just added creator codes, so make sure to enter code Hbomb to support me whenever you purchase things in-game. The Monkey Village always displays a pop count, even though only one of its upgrades allows it to actually pop balloons. You can find a cute Kraken on the main screen of hard mode Odysseys, and this little guy is named Kelly. Pat's Hugs and Seisman Attack are very good stalls for abilities like the Tsar Bomba. The reason you can't gain money in deflation and why there are so many restrictions in chimps is because the monkeys are trying to find more efficient and cheaper ways to defend against the hordes of balloons. Initially, all the blimps in BTD6 were two-dimensional, but this was all changed in Update 8.0 when the 3D blimps that we all know and love were introduced. The Super Monkey does not get jealous when the Super Monkey fan club activates. Instead, it is honored because imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. Have you ever wondered what it's like for balloons and monkeys when the fast forward button is activated? Well, it's a bit like when you are super focused on something and you look up and suddenly hours have passed. Ninja Kiwi has thought about changing some rounds, but never really nerfing or buffing balloons. I wonder if they would raise the health of bads or make DDTs faster if new heroes or monkeys make the game too easy. The Glue Rat was nerfed because Lich and other bosses were absolutely terrified of it and made it completely unfair. The special Poperations Marine has a 120% uptime, meaning you can easily have one Marine down at all times. The Ninja Shurikens can seek out balloons because they are filled with balloon hatred, though only ninjas have mastered this ability to infuse that sort of power with their chosen projectiles. The Balloon War has been going on for quite some time now, but Ninja Kiwi said that the monkeys are winning overall. Every attacking tower has at least one upgrade that can pop lead balloons. Churchill got that wild scar on his face from a rogue bouncing bullet. The reason Pat Fusty can always be placed in water even if it is super deep is because, quote, he's a big fluffy floaty boy. Speaking of water, all the monkeys can swim if they need to, though it's much harder to fight balloons while swimming, so they prefer not to be placed there. For a while there we were able to nickname heroes, though this was taken away because hero names are important to the Bloons universe. If you're like me, you may have wondered how monkeys feel when they get buffed or nerfed. Well, Ninja Kiwi stated that it feels similar to when you or I are having a great day and everything is going our way, and no matter what we're doing it better than normal. And the same goes for the other direction when we are having a bad day and we can't quite do what we normally can. Well, that's pretty similar to how it feels being buffed or nerfed. There are 12 hidden achievements in BTD6, and some of them award special settings that let you change balloon and monkey size. You can set bucks, subs, and snipers to last to get a 10% buff to their attack speed because of the flanking maneuvers monkey knowledge point. All the monkeys get along, but there is one rivalry, and it's between the Prince of Darkness and Legend of the Night over whose title is cooler, Prince or Legend. The Spectre spikes disappear after a certain amount of time because of a secret mix of the Glue Gunner and Alchemist, which allows the spikes to dissipate. Discount villages affect the base price of towers, though you still can't place them unless you have enough cash for their full price. This discount even saves you money when placing heroes, though this is normally only used on deflation. There is a huge difference between balloons and balloons, as one is a rubbery being of death and the other is a harmless children's toy that monkeys even use to decorate their birthday parties. This one is a bit unfortunate, but Ninja Kiwi did say that farmers are powers and are purposely locked from ranked boss events, so you and I will have to keep manually collecting those bananas. Sauda's leaping sword goes to whatever she is targeted to, so be ready to change her targeting if you need something specific popped like lead. Striker Jones learns the weak spot of black balloons with experience, which is why he's able to pop them at later levels. Have you ever wondered why the balloons don't add the regrow attribute to MOB class balloons? Well, apparently they haven't quite figured that out yet, but I think it would be cool if a future boss did add this to all the blimps on screen. Even though Pat Fusty and the Cave Monkey are very similar in size and attacks, they are not related to each other at all. Speaking of Pat, we learned that it does not hurt to be hugged by him, even though he can shatter DDTs. This is because he is very careful and is just another reason why he's the best hero. Contested Territories is a team bonding experience set up by the monkeys and is why there are such elaborate challenges and rankings. If you were in a pathless forest, the wild balloons would not seek out and try to attack you. Instead, it would be just like Pokemon, so be careful of the tall grass. Speaking of Pokemon, Ezilis' favorite is Mimikyu, which for a Gen 7 is a pretty good choice. Round 33 in alternate balloon rounds is much easier than its normal counterpart. It's weird that in a war against balloons, only a small fraction of the monkey fighting force is in the military category. Apparently this specific regiment was made as it would aid a ton in the monkeys' victory. There is never a stopping point or last round that the balloons come. They seem to just keep on fighting on no matter what. Even though Sai is a kid, they are afraid of nothing, as fear is a state of mind and Sai has the ultimate power of mind. We have seen a monkey turn to the dark side in Professor Evil, but we have yet to see a balloon turn to the monkey side. Geraldo says clean up on aisle 7 when balloons leak, which is a reference to his previous work experience at a supermarket. I think this could make for a pretty funny skin for him in the future. All monkeys get a solid education before helping in the fight versus balloons, and only those who want to fight have to. Alchemists can throw their potions through walls because they're a bridge between science and magic, and they know that if the space between the molecules align correctly, any object can pass through another. The wizard is not upset at all with the druid stealing its lightning powers. In fact, it gave them the ability to learn their necromantic powers. If I were a monkey, I would be terrified of bosses, especially if Big Bloons was turned on. But for monkeys in the game, their training kicks in and they fight even harder when the bosses come out. A lot of research and magic went into making a device capable of slowing down time through temporal manipulation. This device is the time stop power, and it has yet to be a staple of a monkey's kit. All monkeys can technically deal damage to balloons via slapping, but Pat's hands are so big that they make for a great weapon, and other monkeys not so much. An air support hero has been acknowledged by Ninja Kiwi and is something they'd like to see, but no design has really fit yet, so it's still a fingers crossed situation from us players. Speaking of new heroes, canonically they are either in faraway lands or just haven't been discovered yet, which is why we get a new one every so often. The monkeys have very sneaky spies amongst the balloons, which is how the Monkey Intelligence Bureau gets its information. The monkeys that got transported to Adventure Time are still there and fighting hard. It is unclear how and if they will return once the threat is gone. If I were an ice monkey and I was fighting alongside Gwen, I'd get very annoyed whenever she thawed out my frozen balloons, but apparently this does not bother them at all. They really only care if she accidentally heats up their iced teas. Speaking of Gwen, her favorite way to cook is with her flamethrower, though she does accidentally burn her food from time to time. The monkeys have their own versions of social media like Facebook and Twitter, so hopefully there's an Hbomb over there giving them tips and tricks. The dart monkeys' worst nightmare are leads and camos, as both are tricky to take down, with one having armor and the other being invisible. All balloons other than bosses are nameless and are only referenced by their properties. Getting consumed by a paragon does not hurt physically, mentally, or spiritually. Instead, it's like getting a big warm hug. Adding more difficulties to BTD6 is something that NK has discussed, but not something they're actively planning. The Buccaneers' grape shots shoot actual grapes, and the crews of these ships occasionally snack on them from time to time, though they tend to stay away from them when the grapes are upgraded to hotshot. If you liked these Bloons facts, then you can click this video right here for 73 more.